right. Dame time. Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast, episode 76. I'm Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And it's our basketball podcast where we recap, break down, and analyze players and teams from previous games from previous day. How are you this Wednesday, Ja?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
That's good. That's good to hear. I'm doing good as well, better than the Pelicans. I will Evan have a good day. Oh, everyone will have a good day. Let's just jump right into the game from last night. The Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans, and the Portland Trailblazers did battle in Portland. CJ McCollum's return. In that return, he didn't really play that much, but he did hit some two shots in the first quarter. You see, he still got it. You got to get his rhythm, and he has to take their time with him. Don't want to just throw him out there.
Don't worry, he's gonna get back. He's gonna get back the next game. Trust me.
It's probably gonna be a few games. I give it 2 more games. I give it 2 more.
I give it 2 more games.
But besides CJ, Dame had it going early, and he was probably like the only one who had it going because Pelicans came out with all the energy, all the hustle, all the intensity in the world. You really that the young the young player energy in them just really showed as they came out and just attacked. The Blazers had no answer for them. The Blazers wasn't really struggling on offense, but the defense was so bad, or the Pelicans' offense was so great that when the Blazers did miss, or when the Blazers did have a stretch of struggle, the Pelicans would just take off because they couldn't miss. Everything was going on for them in that first half. And it was up by double digits.
Yeah.
And you saw the same from them in the third quarter, even though even though the Blazers started to make a little bit of run, started to get a little bit of steam, got a little bit of offense going. Dame was still killing, just like he had in the first half.
Yeah.
Then the fourth quarter hit, and this is where it gets big. Fourth quarter hit. The Pelicans were up by 17 in that fourth quarter. Throughout the game, Zion, Brandon Ingram, we'll get back to him in a minute. Alexander Walker, we'll get back to him in a minute. Lonzo Ball, who had 17 assists in the game, all to go along with his 11 points. And all of them was just clicking. But like I said, they were up by 17, and the Blazers starting to hit their stride.
Yeah.
They started hitting their shots. They started getting their rhythm. They started hitting their threes. Dame started just going crazy, even more so than what he was doing before. And he was going crazy before. we'll get to that in just a second.
My watch is kind of messed up. Dang it.
And next thing you know, big plays by the Portland Trailblazers, and it's a single-digit lead. And then many back and forth ensued, and the Blazers were down by 3. Brandon Ingram was fouled. Brandon Ingram, he can be a closer for the Pelicans. He's obviously a great player. He's their go-to guy, one of their go-to guys, him and Zion. And he's an 88% free throw shooter. He missed both free throws. That's one mess up. And the Pelicans smartly fouled Dame as soon as he dribbled the ball. Eric Bledsoe fouled him as soon as he dribbled the ball. Dame made both his free throws. And the Pelicans call a timeout. Now they have to inbound the ball, right? Just inbound the ball. Worst case scenario is you go to overtime. Just inbound the ball, hit your free throws. Well, mess up inbound play, a miscommunication throughout the play, and a bad, I guess, a fumble by Alexander Walker, who didn't seem like he was paying attention to where the ball was. Lonzo hit him the ball bounced right off his chest and goes out of bounds. And the Portland Trailblazers have a chance to win the game with, I believe, about 4 point something seconds left in the game, down by 1. Dame gets the ball. He gets fouled by Bledsoe. He makes both of his free throws, capping off a 50-point night. And Lonzo tries his best. As soon as Dame made the second one, got the ball, just threw it down court to Zion. Zion had a good look, but Covington was all over him. It was a tough shot nonetheless. And Zion did miss the game winner. And in the end, it was the Blazers with a come-from-behind win. There was a lot to say. The Blazers with a come-from-behind win, down by 17 in the fourth quarter. Dame stepping up. Dame time in the clutch. 50 points throughout the game. And the mishaps and the mistakes in the Pelicans down the stretch that we've seen a lot from them. I will go first before you say what you want to say, because I know you got some.
All right, go ahead. You do you.
I mean, Damian Lillard, what can you say? What can you say? I mean, this man is just unbelievable. What he has done for this Trailblazers team in the wake of CJ McCollum's absence, in the wake of Nurkic's absence, and how he has led them. Of course, he had some help with Melo and Gary Trent and Enes Kanter stepping up, but he's been their main catalyst. He has been their main driving force. He has been their main reason why they are a top 5th seed in the West. Without those players, it is ridiculous what he's been able to do. Yeah, I mean, you see people starting to throw him into that MVP conversation, which I love to see, because he really does deserve it. As for the Pelicans, you can't. I don't understand. It looked like they just had a dominating win against. Yeah, what?
They were supposed to win this game. Just say it like that. They were supposed to win this game.
You're right. You're right. They were supposed to win this game. Yes. What I was going to is, it looked like they was trying to, get on the right track. They just had a dominating performance against the Cavs, and they followed that up with a dominating performance against the Clippers. Mm-hmm. And then it looks like they're about to beat a great Portland team in convincing fashion. And yet they squander this league with mistake after mistake and bad possession after bad possession. And I understand they're a young team, but they have to get it right down the stretch. It's just frustrating to see from this Pelicans team, because they could be so much better with the talent they have. I mean, we've seen it just based off last night in the performance against the Blazers before that collapse. Zion was unstoppable and can be unstoppable when he wants to be. He's been unstoppable throughout this entire season. I mean, bully ball, just get into his spot, get into the paint. He's not shooting, but he doesn't need to shoot. When you're that big and that strong, and nobody can outmuscle you, you can do whatever you want. He's done that. Brandon Ingram, elite scorer, one of the best scorers in the game today. Alonzo Ball, a pass first point guard, one of the best passers in today's game. And they also have a lot of talent. Alexander Walker, who had 20 points last night. Jackson Hayes, Josh Hart, who can hustle and can rebound. And they have all these good pieces, Steven Adams, Eric Bledsoe. But yet, they are struggling to get into the playing game right now. It's so frustrating watching this Pelicans team sometimes, because you see where they can be good. You see that they can be good. And then you see just the young mistakes and the costly mistakes that cost them games. Yeah. Like Brandon Ingram, you can't miss the free throws. And Alexander Walker, you have to catch the ball.
Yeah. Just more mistakes that, and let me tell you something, they are going to be great. Guarantee you this. They are going to be great. Unless something gets in the way to hinder somebody on that team to stop their potential, they're going to be
talking about in the future, right? Like in the next year, 2 years. Yeah.
In the future, they are. But as a young team, these are the things that you got to go through. You got to go through times of failure in order to be humble. And I think that's the thing with the Pelicans. Just like what you all said, they're a great young talented team. They got a lot of great pieces. Their main stars, Ingram and Zion. But the thing is, you got to Number one, their defense is horrible. Let's be honest. They have the potential to be one of the best defense, but their defense is horrible. The Blazers went on a big run in that fourth quarter.
25-7 run in that fourth
25
quarter.
to 7 run. So you know what that means? That not only attests to the greatness of the Blazers offense, which we always constantly praise in a high manner, but also it attests to the fact of how many times we've been talking about with the Pelicans with their horrible defense throughout this whole season, and how it goes to the main reason of what happened once again for the 11th straight time for them. They cannot close out a game. I don't know if they even survived a scare throughout the season when in terms of this. I think they lost most of the games that they had an opportunity to close out.
The one thing that I can think of was that game on Sunday against the Celtics.
Okay.
When they had a 25-point comeback and beat the Celtics in overtime. That's the game that I come to mind immediately. Besides that, I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, but it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, you got to make these mistakes now, but eventually you have to start making this for the 11th straight time. Okay, we can understand if you did it like probably 2-3 times, right? But those are times where you get in the film session, you learn from it, and you learn how to communicate better and everything. And as a result, you do not make those mistakes again. Besides that, let's get into the Blazers, man. Dame, again, since you already said most of it, I'm just going to just keep it like this. Damian Lillard, when it's all said and done, you got to put a lot of respect on this man's name when he retires, man. Because if we could talk about the story from when he came into the league till now, the things that he has been able to do for this whole organization has just been legendary. And this just goes right into the book with many of the great things he has done. On the court. We're not even talking about off the court. I'm talking about on the court. The things that this man, Hula has live sports, bro. It's a lifestyle, bro. It's a lifestyle, bro. Dame Dollar, clutchness, just amazing. The ability, the things that he does on the court, he's a dog. And just the fact that he's able to just dominate the game at will in terms of pure scoring and shooting and danger. Like, to be honest, I got to give Bledsoe a lot of respect because what he did with Dame, like, you know, when you're a threat from deep in the threat to attack the rim and finish around the basket at will, it's nothing that you could really do with a player who's like that. So you have to just try your best and hope and pray that a miracle happens, in which, of course, in the Pelicans case, that will never happen probably so far. But like, there's nothing real. Bledsoe had to had a high contest on Dame with that shot at the end that put him at the line. Because there was just no chance, no opportunity right there. That man is a dangerous threat. So I give a lot of love and respect to Damian Lillard. I give a lot of love and respect to that whole Blazers team for their offensive ability. Their experience. They've been through situations like this before.
Yep. The man right behind me, he's a killer. He's just a different breed. And as you said, yeah, he deserves all the respect in the world. Not only when he retires, but right now.
Look, man. People still don't know, man. It's crazy, right? But people still don't know.
It's because he doesn't have a chip, so that's why. But yeah, legendary performance by Damian Lillard, 50 points and also 10 assists too. Coming up with the game-winning free throws and a disappointing loss by the Pelicans.
Yeah.
All right, going to the top of the day or the top of the night. The Utah Jazz and the Boston Celtics, the first primetime game of the day. And this was a pretty back and forth, duel between the Celtics and the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they had it going early and throughout the entirety of the game. And it really stayed like that, back and forth, up until that fourth quarter where the Utah Jazz, where we've seen so much throughout this entire year, just started to, make their run, start to separate themselves from the Celtics team. And the Celtics had a chance, and they were down by 3 with about, 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
But then the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell, and Mike Conley and the rest of the group really closed this game out. The Jazz were able to pick up the win.
Oh yeah, there's not really much that has to be said about this game. Great back and forth until that fourth quarter. Like, the Jazz being who they are, number one seed for a reason. Let's just be honest.
Yep.
Um, Again, my personal opinion about that one seed, I don't know. I'm gonna keep that to myself. But in terms of,
Hater.
but in
Hater.
terms of the, in terms again, we can't praise this team enough for their team style of play. The things that they have going for them, clicking on both ends of the floor is just amazing. Talk about the star Donovan Mitchell, the second star the second star is Gobert, but Conley, the second scoring option, Ingles, O'Neal, all these guys, everything, their abilities of what they're.
Control. To me, their second scoring option, Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah,
I mean, he's their second leading scorer, and he was big time for them. Last night against the Celtics, had 20 points. Obviously, coming off the bench, runaway six man of the year, and he's just been a great addition ever since he got there last year.
yeah,
And now he's just stepped his game up. Really, what you call it, embracing that six man role
bro.
and really doing everything that he needed, everything that Jazz need for him to do in terms of offense, in terms of that scoring load. So you gotta give credit to him. And just the most impressive thing about this Jazz team is the number of ways in which they can win.
Yeah,
That's what's most impressive.
they could win it for multiple ways, whether it's just like, unselfish kind of play, 3-point defense, or like, rim attacking. They can win off a mile of ways as long as they have the advantage. As long as they have the advantage.
But real quick, think about how many times has Donovan had 40 points this season? Even 30 points.
I know he probably had 30 points a couple of times, but 40, I can't remember. I don't think he has had a 40-point game. I could
Uh,
be wrong.
I'm gonna do some research. now I'm interested. Now I'm interested because this Jazz team is just they're so well balanced in terms of their offensive scoring load. Like everyone can score in double digits. Ingles, Bogdanovich, Gobert, Conley,
Clarkson, yeah.
yeah, Clarkson.
And I should have mentioned him. I bet I forgot all about Jordan Clarkson for a second.
How you forget about the six man of the year?
It's crazy, but yeah, he is
Well,
their
nobody
second.
really picked them in 2K, so of course you forget about them. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, what a bum.
Well,
Bums.
I need some guy with length and size. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with somebody else.
Yeah, listen, man. I don't. Okay, Braun. I don't want to say. Okay, Braun.
But yeah, they're just a team who could do it. And then, again, when you have talent like that, it's just like, you can't go against. These are guys who at one point when they were on different teams who had some kind of major role. Again, you talk about the fact of Conley. He was the front runner for the Grizzlies for like probably like 11 years, 12, 11,
Yeah,
12
for the Grizzlies, yes,
for the
yes.
Grizzlies, like 11, 12 years. He was their point runner. You
Mhm.
talk about Clarkson, who's always been a bucket, even on teams before. You talk about Bogdanovich, who's always been the elite scorer too when he was on other teams. Probably, of course, not on a high pedestal, but of course he could get buckets when he needed to. Ingles, he came up big for Jazz like way in the past. Like these guys have
Paul
been
George.
yes, but calm down with PG. He's been getting a lot this season from
Yeah,
people.
you're right. I'm sorry.
But these guys have been in situations in which they have had big time roles before. So just having this whole thing assembled together on the same team and how they found a way through a system, even though it's amazing, it doesn't come as a shock in a way too. I say that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Quick note about Donovan Mitchell. Looked up his scoring stats. Out of 36 games he played, he scored 30 points 10 times, and he hasn't had a 40-point game this season.
Magnificent.
Yeah, this Jazz team is just great. Great win by the Jazz, who looked like they might have been, turning over into a bad leaf if they would have lost this game.
Yeah.
The way the last 4 games have went for them. But good
Yeah.
win by the Jazz. And as for the Celtics, who they were looking like to turn it over in a good way with this win, with the way how they've been playing for the past 4 games, taking the loss. We'll see if they can bounce back in the next game. But all right, only a few games around the league from last night besides those nationally televised games. So any of the games that you would like to go over first?
The Bulls versus Thunder. This was basically a runaway for the Bulls. Just to be honest, let's get it out the way. They
Yeah, talk
came
about
out.
one man. Let's do it like that.
Yeah. Basically, the man of the night was Zach Levine. 40 points on the night. Just pure bucket getting in terms of his shot making, his shot creating abilities. He was doing it from all angles of the floor, from 3-point, inside the three, near baseline, wing, getting to the basket. He was doing it all. And basically, the Bulls had this game by the time the third quarter started. So there's nothing really much that we said. Great job by that whole Bulls team, but especially Zach Levine with 40 points in the night.
Yeah, Zach Levine proving that he's just an all-star. Proving that he's an all-star for a reason.
Yeah. The next game I would like to talk about is the Knicks versus 76ers. And this was
So
a
embarrassing.
highly close competitive game all the way down to the wire. Both teams did great. Multiple people in double figures in this game from both sides. And the Knicks, actually, they had the momentum for majority game, even though it wasn't much. It wasn't much because, like, you know what I mean? Nobody went on a big time run in which, like, you know, they had like over.
Don't do that. We had the lead. We had a lead.
Yeah, had the lead. Yeah,
it was a winnable game.
It was a winnable game. Even though it kind of went either way, which it did, it was a winnable game. But it got down to that fourth quarter, and Philadelphia just something just clicked for Philadelphia. Even though the Knicks still had it going, Philadelphia just had something going. And like you talk about, Steph Curry's three gave them the lead, and then basically from that point on, Tobias Harris, who had 30 points on the night, basically took over for that.
That's what clicked. That's what clicked. You was looking for something clicked. Yeah, it was him, Tobias Harris. He clicked.
Exactly. And even though RJ Barrett gets a dunk, they're down by 2, and basically it was just good pressure by the Sixers. And
Korkmaz
goes to the line.
Yeah, Korkmaz goes to the line, misses a free throw, makes a free throw. Knicks have a chance. I'll finish it up. The Knicks have a chance to tie the game. Surprisingly, Thibodeau entrusted quickly. He missed it, but Randall got the rebound. Gave it to Reggie Bullock. He had some weird double pump, but that didn't matter because his foot stepped on the line.
Yep.
Out of bounds line. As a result, the Sixers do pick up the win against the Knicks.
Look, man, Emmanuel quickly made it if it was a floater, man, but he was at the three. He
would have made it if it was a step back.
Yeah, he could have made it if it was
that's Floater King. Man.
But yeah, good fight by the Knicks. Even though I felt like they should have won this game, but good fight by them. But just great win by the Sixers, man, and good job by Tobias Harris, who's been having a really good season.
I felt like the Knicks should have won this game too, but gotta give credit to the Sixers, who, in the wake of Embiid's absence, have won 2 in a row against Spurs and against the Knicks, and are currently on a 6-game winning streak. But all right. No news from last night, so let's just go straight into the predictions for tonight's set of games. Let's jump right into it. First, starting off, the Toronto Raptors going up against the Detroit Pistons.
Toronto Raptors.
I got the Pistons. I believe the Raptors have been suffering some injury woes recently. I think Van Vliet and Siakam.
Yeah.
The Nets or the Pacers?
The Nets.
The Nets, who are on a 5-game winning streak, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. The first primetime game of the night, ESPN 7 o'clock. It is the Milwaukee Bucks, third in the Eastern Conference, going up against who we just talked about, the Philadelphia 76ers on a 6-game winning streak, first in the conference. Who you got?
Well, be ready to suffer your first loss in 7 games, Philadelphia. I got the Bucks. Sorry.
I got the Bucks as well, and the Bucks are on a 4-game winning streak. Nets 5-game, Sixers 6-game, Bucks 4 games. But one of them has to come to an end between the
Yep.
Sixers and the Bucks. The Kings, and I said I got the Bucks. Yeah, I said I got the Bucks.
Yeah, you say you got the Bucks.
The Kings or the Wizards?
The Wizards. They're both
Wizards.
disappointments anyway. So
It's like, would you rather get shot or stabbed? But I got the Wizards because they've been playing better for the past month and a half than the Kings have been.
Yeah. And
These,
hey, man, both ways could be fatal. That's all we got to say, to be honest.
oh man, the Celtics or the Cavs?
Celtics.
Celtics. The Spurs or the Bulls?
Bulls.
Spurs. The Warriors or the Rockets?
Warriors.
I'm trying to say it with a straight face.
No,
Oh, by the way, quick note. If anybody is wondering because the Rockets played last night, if anyone's wondering if the Rockets won, no, they didn't. On a 17-game losing streak. What? What's so funny?
The fact you said it like that, you said if anybody's wondering about it.
Hey, if anyone's wondering, they lost to the Hawks. But yeah, I got the Warriors.
Yeah.
The Heat or the Grizzlies?
Heat.
The Heat as well. And the Heat on a 5-game winning streak. The Hornets or the Nuggets?
Nuggets.
I'll go with the Hornets. I'm going to go with the Hornets. A little upset. The Hornets on a 4-game winning streak. Just a quick note. The top 5 in the Eastern Conference, 76ers, Nets, Bucks, Heat, and Hornets for now. See how long that lasts for them.
Yeah.
Are all on pretty good winning streaks. Some more impressive than others.
Hey, man,
and what?
The East is competitive than it has been in a long time, man.
Yes, and that's exciting about it. And lastly, ESPN second primetime game doubleheader, 9:30. The Los Angeles Clippers in a rematch from a few nights ago, going up against the Dallas Mavericks.
I got the Dallas Mavericks with this one.
And I am in agreement with you. I got the Mavericks as well. Well, all right. I think it's time to wrap things up. Any final thoughts?
Dame Dollar, you are legendary.
Yes, he is. Dame time, Dame Dollar, Logo Lillard, doesn't matter. And one day he will get the respect that he rightfully deserves.
Hula doesn't just allow sports, is a lifestyle.
Dame could do it all.
That's when he could do it all, man.
Well, all right. With that being said, thank you guys for watching today's pod. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.
Also, follow IG down in the description below.
Whenever he uploads. And once again, I am Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is Mind the Basketball Podcast.